Hello, welcome to Sound Bites. I am your host, Holly Whitfield from the Daily Memphian, here again for part 2 chit chat with Ellen Chamberlain, our newish food writer here, Daily Memphian, of course. We are the weekly food, drink, and dining podcast for your local news source, Daily Memphian. It's part of our free content. You can hear new episodes every week on WYXR Radio. You can listen on Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. there. You can also search Soundbites Daily Memphian on your Apple Podcasts, your Spotify, whatever podcast app you like, and you can find us there. You can stream episodes. Just hit the little play button on the Soundbite section, dailymemphian.com. But let's get going again with Ellen. Last week in part 1, we talked a little bit about you. You gave a beautiful nutshell elevator pitch about yourself and your journey. And then we also talked a lot about restaurant news, Celtic Crossing celebrating 20 years, and then like the next day having a car crash into the front of their restaurant. I'm sure that we have updates on that now coming a couple of weeks later as you're listening. Maeve's Tavern, that same restaurant owner, DJ Naylor's new Irish pub in Collierville Square. We talked about our approaches on reviewing restaurants versus critiquing versus restaurant influencing. I loved this conversation, but I want to go back and talk more about you, more about where you're from, and how you got into writing and why food. That's like the big questions. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Okay.
Yes.
I can receive that from you. So like, if I can go like very deep and introspective, between two ferns with it.
Imagine there's a green fern on one side of you. The leaves are gently blowing in the air conditioning that's coming from the ceiling on the other side. Same thing. And then me, I'm here too, obviously, and there's like just quiet sound of the what are these fluorescent lighting? a hum of fluorescent lighting.
It's giving public access.
Public
TV.
access.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like
yes,
it. My
that's
humble
where we're
beginnings,
at.
quite frankly.
Yes,
so I'm here for it. I have always been a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a writer. I probably in the last couple of months, I keep looking up and I realize like, yo, I'm a real writer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm a real writer. Because for so long, I would just tell people that I either was an aspiring writer, I wanted to be a writer, or I'm working on writing. And I always felt like a fraud when I said that I was a writer. And then I looked up and I realized like, no, I'm a writer.
You get that, you see that list of bylines, you're like, oh, I'm writing some stuff.
Yeah. I remember my first writing assignment in school. Mm-hmm. And that's what keyed me into the fact that like, oh, I do this thing in a way that other people don't. Mm-hmm. Like, first of all, kids didn't necessarily enjoy writing even back in my day. It was still like a bit of a chore to have to eke out that essay. And I remember we got a little photo because, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And it might have been like maybe 2nd or 3rd grade. And it's like, yo, write a story to go along with this photo. And
classic.
My mom cried over my story. My teacher cried. She submitted it because clearly a troubled child. I wrote this very sad, tragic story about a child losing their pet, something. I don't know whatever I came up with, but it was great. It was poetic. I won a little award off of it. And I was like, oh, this is life. I love this. This is what I'm going to do. I discovered radio out of necessity as a kid. And so, but even broadcast is still writing. Because, I'm okay extemporaneously.
Yes.
I say that 5 times fast. But
you did it.
But I'm better with the script. Mm-hmm. So even on the air, I'm jotting out my breaks. I'm writing out what I want to say. I'm writing out my questions when I'm going to do interviews. Because I was fortunate enough to work in hip hop radio for a time. And I got to talk to some really cool people. But then like, ew, I hate it when I kind of tell my age. In 2008, the bottom kind of fell out.
Yeah.
And I didn't broadcast wasn't hitting the way it used to. And I was like, oh, I have to lean into writing. Like, this is a skill that a lot of folks don't have. This is a way I can pay the bills. Food, in terms of journalism, is like the upper echelon of journalism. Like, you either want to be a big freaking deal investigative reporter or you want the food beat.
Yes.
I wanted the food to be. But it's competitive. And there are not a lot of people, you know, like you'll have way more folks on an investigative team than you will covering food in restaurants. It's just a hard club to get into.
It's a hard beat. I mean, people are like, oh, so you just get to like go eat at restaurants all the time. And it's like, yes. And then I have to go answer all these questions and find all these people who may or may not want to talk to me, which is similar to other beats. But I think people underestimate the amount of journalistic skill and tenacity that you have to really cover food writing the way that you have endeavored to do at different publications and now here.
Thank you for that. I agree with that. And I think that's one of the bigger differences between being an influencer.
Yeah.
And like, this is not all my opinion. And when you see my opinion, it's very clear that it's my opinion. These are fact-based reports. I am attributing the information to whomever gave it to me, you know? So, I'd quit journalism after like the trauma of 2020 because 2020 was just tough on anybody and everybody. It didn't matter if you were a housewife or if you were, you know, a first responder. 2020 was just tough. So I was like, oh, what I'm not going to do is cover protests and death all day. In fact, it was my job in 2020 to update the daily death toll county by county in the state of Michigan. I was losing my mind. So I started ghostwriting and writing mostly memoirs. I did a couple of fun things. Well, memoirs are fun. But I did a couple of, you know, fun things like science fiction. I did a romance novel. Like I did some cool stuff.
I've always wanted to try to write a romance novel. We'll talk about this later.
They are so much fun. We will totally talk about it because I was ghostwriting them for an author who's probably wrote like her first 3 books and like the last 30. She's farmed out to people like me. So she's got a formula and it works. So in the ghostwriting stage of my career, cookbooks came my way. Well, like, and, you know, as a millennial, you know, like I remember when Twitter was first formed. So like I recall seeing all the food content and wanting to be that person. I'm not big on socials because like, although I'm exceptionally dope and I'm fun to look at, I don't need to be on your TV screen and on your phone all the time. So I wasn't good with that, but I really wanted to talk about food and it was hard. So when I got the ghostwriting gigs, like, and I'm helping to develop recipes and I'm, you know, doing the test kitchen stuff and figuring out like, hey, dude, I'm a layman and I'm American. I can't make this Moroccan food at home like this. Can we tweak it? You know, just doing stuff like that was so fun. And I think that like just the world aligned. There was this other publication in Memphis. Are there other publications here? I don't know. But maybe there is.
There are, and they're all amazing.
You know what? Let's do that. Right. No more radio wars. So I got a call when I was in Belize working on somebody's memoir. I had just finished my 3rd cookbook. And they're like, hey, you want to come to Memphis and talk about FedEx and Ford? I got FedEx and Ford connections because like all my friends are corporate people. I'm just not a corporate person. And I was like, no, respectfully, y'all can take that. I don't, there's no way I want to talk about FedEx and Ford, even in Memphis. And I've been wanting to move to Memphis for years, years. Like even tried it and it didn't work a couple of years ago because the job fell through. So they were like, well, how do you feel about food? Excuse me?
Yes.
You have a food beat available? You did not lead with that? So it was an immediate yes. Like food is the coolest thing ever. And then as a lover of people, it's the easiest way to bring us all together. Because I'm not musical. Like Memphis is such a musical city. All these people are so freaking talented. It's crazy. I don't have that. I can't share in that with people. But I could totally talk to you about some shrimp and grits and we can have a good time.
And we should. You got a favorite shrimp and grits here? Or is that like a make-at-home dish?
So no, it's not. And if I may be transparent, I actually don't like shrimp. I will eat
this
anything
is good to know.
For the sake of the job. Like I'm not that girl who's like, I don't eat this, I don't eat that. I don't eat it at home. I won't spend my money on it. I will spend the Daily Memphian's money on it. I will taste it and I will tell y'all how it is.
Yes.
Right? So I actually have a catfish and grits. It's a catfish and smoked Gouda grit at the Crazy Coop downtown. I wish I could remember what street that's on. Madison. It's on Madison between Front and Main. Boy, I tell you. I mean, I think it's the grits more than anything.
Is it a fried catfish or is it like a blackened situation?
It's a fried catfish fillet, which is great. I mean, like, again, catfish is one of those things. Like, you either did it right or you didn't. Like, it's very hard for me to look at some catfish and be like, oh, my goodness, this just blew me away.
Yes,
like, it's catfish. Either you did it justice or you didn't. They do that catfish justice. What blows me back are the grits. Like, they're just freaking grits. They should not be that good. And
it's like, what did you do to this? I'm suspicious to make it so delicious.
All I know is that there's Gouda in there. It's all she'll tell me. Because I've asked. And then I love salmon and grits too. And the genre clearly I'm a downtown dweller.
I love the genre though.
The genre
That's good
has
stuff.
amazing grits. And what I respect is when a chef says to me, such and such's food is better than mine. Chef Eli Townsend of Dos Hermanos in the Cosset Library, he did a grits dish for me once that was amazing. And he was like, I'm glad you like it, but just so you know, the genre's grits are better than mine. Excuse me? Well, I'm leaving you. I'm going to the genre. And he told no lies. They're spectacular.
So I've already snuck 2 food recommendations
out
of you. So you've been in Memphis for a little while.
Yeah, long enough to make a baby, but just a food one.
Just a food baby. I think that there's something, and we talked about this in part 1 of this episode, coming into a new city and telling everybody what their food's supposed to taste like. That's not what you're doing. Go back and listen to that if you haven't, and hear more on Ellen's point of view of that, which I really agree with and relate to, because once upon a time, a million years ago, I was also a new Memphian. Right. I had just moved here, and I was a little bitty baby then, but I also felt like, and then people gave me this feedback later, and I really appreciated it. There's something about, if you do have a good attitude and you do want the best for the city, coming in and seeing it with fresh eyes can help people who've been here for a long time, and they're kind of like, you just don't even see the storefronts anymore. You don't even see the street signs anymore.
It's develop a blindness.
You just have I know that that's there. I know that that's there. I don't remember what it tastes like. I don't like it, or I do like it, or whatever. But if you come in with a fresh perspective and you're doing your research on your context, but you don't necessarily have all that, in this case, I'm going to say baggage.
Right.
As a longtime local, you can rediscover places and you can rediscover favorites. Like Josh Carlucci that was doing our $10 and $15 deals, was like, I went to Alex's Tavern and had a burger. And I was like, are you serious? You haven't had an Alex's Tavern burger, Josh? Mr. Guy who goes everywhere.
Thinking about Rocky up there. He's the owner. I need to go back up there. I haven't been there in a minute. That's a great burger.
But my gut reaction was the gut reaction of the dead set in their ways Memphian. That's like, oh my God, I can't believe that you have not been there. And then I thought about it and I was like, no, there's a whole generation of younger people, newer people like you who have moved here, that why would they know that that's a staple? How would they know that that's a staple?
Exactly.
And so they need somebody to tell them. So,
and I'm down for all of it. Teach me, show me where I should be.
Well, I want to know what surprised you the most, whether it's just about Memphis in general or the food scene or a specific place. It's a very open-ended, what has surprised you? What
has surprised me? Memphis, your attitude towards your own city has surprised me.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of gray area here. Folks bleed for this city, or they seemingly want to do everything they can to see it fail, which is weird because you could just leave. I should hope that you could just leave and go someplace else if it's all that attitude is strange to me, because Detroiters, right, wrong, or indifferent, ride for that city. Detroit went bankrupt, dear. I mean, quite literally filed for bankruptcy. I didn't know a city could do that. It was great when I learned. So, we were buying homes for $1. Yeah. Truly, homes for $1. And through that became Detroit versus Everybody, which is now an international brand that has ties in Memphis. So I'm just not used to the willingness to abandon ship. That was strange to me. I think the other really big surprise for me was the artistic talent. I'm not exaggerating. I'm not trying to be facetious when I say all of these folks are talented. Yeah. When I meet a Memphian and I find out they're a native Memphian, I'm like, oh, okay, so what do you do? Yeah. And they all take it for granted. What do you mean? What do you do? You paint, you sculpt, you sing, you compose. And then they're like, oh, yeah, well, I was on Justin Timberlake's album. And I was like...
Yeah, of course you were. Yeah, I was how many session musicians and people are like, oh, I was on this record, I was on this album.
Oh, I was just on tour with LMA.
Yeah.
The British lady? Sure.
That's just what we do.
So, just so much talent which I think probably lends itself to the negative attitudes. I think that maybe Memphians don't always realize how uniquely special this place is. Like, folks scramble to get here from all over the globe. And I think sometimes Memphians are just like, it's Memphis. It's like, yeah, it is. It's Memphis.
I think
it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think people from all towns, everybody's hometown, whether it's Memphis or Nashville or Detroit or Sacramento, like they probably are, there's probably groups of people that are like, oh, whatever, this sucks.
This is true. Because the University of Michigan is supposedly a big deal.
Yeah.
I had no clue. I couldn't wait to leave Michigan for school.
You were like, I got to get out of here.
Oh,
yeah. But there's something, I think, a little more pressing and a little more bruised about Memphis. Mm-hmm. In that way that makes us a little more sensitive to this. And so that's why I think
you've worked with marketing for the city before.
Yeah. Yes.
I wish that Memphians talk to each other about Memphis the way that Memphis talks to the world about Memphis.
And that people who come here and visit are like, oh, I had this like otherworldly out of body experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
The trolley shocked me too, for real, y'all.
The trolley, or lack thereof.
That part.
The trolley buses, the trolley catching on fire. I don't know, like
all of it.
We need like a mystery.
I
about
need to call
that.
Milton. I'm going to call Milton today and ask for a rebrand on Trolley Night.
Tell Milton, hey, we used to work together very closely. Milton is now at Downtown Memphis Commission. Are they still doing food truck Thursdays down in Court Square downtown?
I've never made it to one, but I see it on socials all the time.
It's a good chance to try out a bunch of trucks.
I might do that this Thursday.
That's a good idea. So I was gently polling some of the other Daily Memphian staffers about what they wanted to know from you. And you will not be surprised to learn that they just want like all your top
food recommendations,
like the best so-and-so, the best so-and-so. Well, we're not going to get into all whatever's best and whatever's not. But I would love to know anything in sort of like the best kept secrets realm. A favorite happy hour, if you've got one. And that can be food or drinks.
Two come to mind. And I'm so sorry, Memphis, if you're not a downtown dweller, give me time. I will explore more of this city, I promise. But I got 2 feet, and as long as they still work, I'm trying to use them. Disability runs in my family. So I like to be active. So if I can walk it, I'm going to walk it. And the Arrive Hotel, honey. Oh, my goodness. That is a happy hour I love. You'll also hear me talk about non-alcoholic options a lot. That's one of the things that I like about the Arrive is like, you can have wine. You can have champagne. It's just 0 proof, right? Or, they'll make you something fun and fruity or whatever from, directly from the bartender's hands to your glass. And then for me, they're my favorite pizza in the city. So sorry to all my other pizzerias. Y'all know that you mean the world to me. But the Arrive is my favorite pizza. It's really a Detroit-style deep dish pizza that they don't brand that way. And I'm okay with that because a lot of folks are like, what is Detroit-style deep dish?
They should, though. I think people are curious. But anyways.
But folks still, there's some education that has to happen there. But that pizza
education
is so good. Like, I get the sausage pizza. They make their own fennel sausage in-house with a little honey drizzle on top, and I add red onion, and God is so good every time I have that pizza. And pizzas are half off during happy hour.
That is really good to know because they're
they can get pricey. I mean, we're talking $20 for a pie. But it's worth it.
It's worth it.
But it's so much better when it's $10. And so, in fact, that might be dinner tonight.
It's sounding better and better.
And Bar Dog has a fun happy hour. And just what I like about Bar Dog is for the people who do drink, I don't know if you've ever been like out drinking and then you can't make decisions. Like you can't make a sound decision. Like do I want an egg? Do I want French fries? Do I want Chinese food? Bar Dog puts that all on one platter for you. It's called the Bar Dog poo-poo platter.
Bar Dog is a good one. I think they have always had underrated bar food.
Absolutely.
Like the chicken tenders, what is up with the chicken tenders?
It's the honey mustard.
It's so good.
Like, whoa.
Yeah.
So the reason I wanted to live here is because of my big sister. She lived here years ago. And Bar Dog, like you with Celtic Crossing, has always been a thing that I knew of. And back in the day, Bar Dog was very much known as a gastropub. Do you remember that term?
Oh, yes.
So, like...
The gastropub era. I'm, like, imagining it like the Jurassic period, the Cretaceous period, the gastropub period.
What an era. It was, like, right before we went nuts for avocado toast, right? So, but I think it still rings true. Like, it's a really cool neighborhood bar that just happens to have a great kitchen.
Okay. Brunches.
Okay.
Are you a brunch
So breakfast
girly?
is my favorite meal of the day.
Okay.
I'm waiting for my 24/7 breakfast joint that I just love to go to out here. Haven't found it yet. In terms of like downtown life, it's gonna be the Garden Brunch Cafe on Main Street because my goodness, Chef Jordan, like I know those folks trained him well. He learned to cook from his mom. She used to run the kitchen, Jennifer, but now Jordan is back there. But I'll eat there all the time. And it doesn't matter if it's a seasonal menu or something on the staples. I prefer the bar, but go up there. And great service, too, when we talk about good service. And then there's this place out in Whitehaven that I discovered during Cynthia Daniels Black Restaurant Week. Yes. It's called Exactly Breakfast Cafe. What the freak are they doing out there? Boy, that food is so good. They have and they do some stuff that like shouldn't be happening in my opinion, but it happens and it's so well done, but it could only happen in Memphis. They have a smoked turkey omelet.
That sounds weird.
It shouldn't be okay.
You know, sometimes you just gotta try it.
It's so good. It should not work, but it is so good. Apparently, it was supposed to be like a seasonal something or other. Now it's a staple. They couldn't get rid of it.
The people lost
their minds.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna continue on this little journey. Late night places. I feel like Bar Dog is a good late night place.
Bar Dog is one of my late night spots because they don't close till 3.
Yeah.
Same thing with me and the Silly Goose Lounge, honey. Mm-hmm. They are open till 3.
They have been through so many eras.
Indeed.
And I almost went there this weekend because I was like, I heard they're a new era, and I got to go like every era and see.
It's live up there right now.
What they got going on.
You know, golf carts lining the street on a late night. The Silly Goose is a spot to go to. And do you know I love downtown? I love Mama's. Mm-hmm. Thank you for saying, because people are often like, "What's Mama's?" Why don't you know about Mama's? Like, and there just aren't a lot of places that are going to be open past midnight.
Not these days, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I don't know if Ernestine and Hazel's is open late, but honorable mention, because boy, when you want a burger in the late night.
They're open late, but not like super late.
Not like that 2-3 o'clock life.
Right. Okay. It's like a midnight.
But I mean, if you want to hear somebody belt out some Shaka Khan poorly and have a great burger on a grill that is full of character, I say go to Ernestine and Hazel. It's so good. No,
that's a great one. Okay, coffee shops. Are you a coffee person or a tea person?
I am a tea person. Mm-hmm. Dare I say snob? Mm-hmm. I live for tea.
Interesting.
Live for tea. I'm not huge on coffee. I love the way it smells. Mm-hmm. And I like being around it, but I won't drink it. And it's funny because like I'm in my dating era right now. She's single.
Mm-hmm. Ding, ding, ding. I was about to ask you about date nights.
Yeah, totally. I don't know. I can't get any. But if I were to go on a date, I might have some recommendations. But when it comes to coffee, Rigby Roastery is a weekend pop-up that happens inside of what was Comeback Coffee. He's there every Saturday morning. His coffee smells amazing. And what I like about Rigby is that it is what I would call accessible luxury. I don't exactly know his business model and how he's able to do what he does, but he is bringing luxury coffees that would typically cost you somewhere between like $15 and $30 a cup anywhere else.
That's wild.
Oh, honey, I'm talking Kopi Luwak is nothing to this man, right? Like he's got some luxury beans back there, but he's charging us like regular prices because he wants to make coffee accessible to all of us. And I should say, he's also got some really good black teas and other tropical flavors that he can make happen for you. If you're not a coffee lover, I love them. I wish I could think of the name of the place inside, speaking of Collierville, inside the square. Just the coziest space and really, really good tea. The coffee smelled good.
Square Beans Coffee?
That's them. Square Beans.
Yes.
And their pastries, they source from somebody local out there. And those pastries are, oh my goodness, that spinach. Oh my God. So good. And then any other coffee shops that do it for me. No, I'll stop there for coffee.
Yeah. I know that you have said that you have a lot of places like on your list. And
that I gotta check out, yeah.
It's kind of like when you have a really great show and then you finally convince your friend to watch it with you and you get to watch it all over again. And it's not the same as when you watch it the first time. Yes, I recently convinced my friend to watch Succession with me after many years of cajoling, which is one of my favorite shows. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. But the point is, like, you're getting to see the city and you're getting to try everything.
For sure.
And it's like getting to experience it all over again. Of course, we have plenty of new spots that we can all try for the first time together. Absolutely. I wanted to talk a little bit before we go. We have just a couple of minutes left. I have a feeling we're going to be chatting again on a future episode of Sound Bites. But one thing that you're planning to bring back as part of your food writing position at Daily Memphian and covering the food beat and connecting with people in Memphis who have restaurants, love restaurants, is you're going to be bringing back food events.
Oh, yes.
What can you tell us about that in the last couple of minutes?
Holly, thank you. Yes, you're absolutely right. We are bringing back food events, which is probably something that folks who have been, loyal readers and supporters of the Daily Memphian are already familiar with my predecessor, Jennifer Chandler. Mm-hmm. And then I believe Jennifer Biggs used to also have some food events too. Mine will be in that same vein. Mm-hmm. So each month you'll be hearing from us, letting you know, heads up. It's going to the subscribers first. I'm very, very sorry. But that is just the way that it'll go. But it will always be something that I make sure the general public knows too. And we're just going to rotate this thing. We're going to try some of these places together.
Yes.
And if it's not your first time, come out anyway and let it be our first time breaking bread together. This first event is tentatively scheduled for August. Mm-hmm. We'll be getting out details very soon. It'll be a lunch. But I understand everybody doesn't get an hour for lunch. Everybody doesn't work a typical schedule. So we'll do lunch together in August. But then we'll see you in September for happy hour and for dinner in October. And every month we'll just come together and we'll have something cool to do with one another. We'll hear from one of the amazing chefs in our city. Mm-hmm. And we will eat some really great food. We will drink some really good drinks, whether they have booze or not, because there is no judgment when it comes to dining and what you bring to the table. And I hope that readers choose to come out and hang out with me. I'd love to meet more of them. I've already been fortunate enough to kind of talk to some folks over email, but I'd like to meet y'all in person.
I'm really excited about these events coming back and getting on a regular schedule. And like you said, it is part of, like, if you subscribe to the Daily Memphian, you're supporting us. We're a nonprofit. If people don't know, we're a nonprofit. So you're supporting us, but you do get plenty of extra perks, including reading all of Ellen's Table Talk weekly columns. Those are subscriber only, and you get first dibs on tickets to these food events. I hope that I'm going to get to sneak into one or two, introduce you to some people. You introduce me to some people. It's going to be a really fun meal. Maybe Natalie Van Gundy, our producer, she's over there whispering and laughing and giving us thumbs up and lots of encouragement.
So I think she'll be there.
I think she'll be there. I'll come get her and take her there.
Thank you so much. Kidnapping approved.
Kidnapping approved. Ellen, thank you again. This has been super fun.
Yes, thank you.
If people didn't hear part 1, this is part 2 of our chat with Ellen on Sound Bites. That's all the time we have. I'm Holly Whitfield. I'm here with Ellen Chamberlain, food writer for Daily Memphian. Listen to us on WYXR Radio on Thursdays at 11, or listen anytime you may please on your Apple Podcasts, dailymemphian.com. Thank you, Ellen, and y'all have a good one.